This is part 2 of Dead Name Survivor, episode 16. Um, so we left off with Mr. Han telling President Park about how the fact that even though he was friends with the ex-president, that because he was weak and because of the people of South Korea didn't believe in him and were weak themselves and were selfish and stuff, he couldn't become great. And so he needed a perfect plan to sorry, my cat's bothering me, to do everything. So he did it. He planned everything from the last bit. He made people, he incriminated people. He brought people who he knew hated the government, and he did all this on his own. He saw the pain of the people like Mr. Kim, and said Korea needed to change. And so basically he tells President Park, like, you can act like this never happened. You can just keep moving. You're going to become president. You can do a real change. You can do all the things that you wanted to do with this presidency. This is exactly what you want to do. You started going because you wanted to stop President O. Now you can do this to make South Korea better. And, unify Korea, all the shebang bang. And, for a minute you see President Park think about it, and he tells him, like, wait for me, when I have my speech, wait for me in my office. And, he says, cool. When I do the speech, cool. He's thinking, yeah. And you see President Park walk around the chair. He finally sits down in the presidential chair, and then he, you see him shred some paper. You finally then see him walk out, and it starts with him saying, like, I'm gonna run for president, and then finally says, nope, actually, I was. But now, since I found out that our senior secretary actually was the person involved, and this is in front of the press, I can't do it because I'm just as responsible as everybody else. I was in the administration and I didn't see, so I need to fall on the sword. We will take in custody of the person in charge. And thank you, everybody. I'm going to work out, instead of stepping down right now, I'm going to go through the rest of my presidency as an acting president. And thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye. All the secretaries are stunned. Everybody's like, who's did it? Who? Secretary Han is in there. He walks in after the fact. People are crying, upset, like, what the hell just happened? Chow Young's like, all my dreams are ended. This is all kinds of messed up. Hana and them walk Mr. Han out, and basically everybody watches as, crying as he's taken into custody. You find out that the lawyer was obviously Mr. Han, and that, Chow Young comes to him and says, you could have told me about what's going on. You could have told me. He's like, yeah, but I wanted to have some follow through. I know it was gonna be hard. He's like, you should have trusted us. You should have knew that we weren't gonna if you were gonna do this, you gotta talk to me. He's like, I'm just sorry. I know you wanted me to run. I know you wanted certain things. I know you put your hopes onto me, and it's just messed up. And you see the weeks go past, and as things go forward, the chairwoman, I believe, wins the presidency. Actually, you know what? We don't exactly know who wins, but somebody wins the presidency. And 2 years pass after that. You see that the President Park is having a night camping trip with his family. I did not know that the camping in Korea is actual parks, like mobile home parks for camp would be considered camping, but that country's not a big country, so I'm just assuming that they don't have like parks in that sense. and basically they're having a wonderful time. And you find out that he has a job opening. This is the second part, for to go to Stanford, and his wife is like, I'm okay with going if you're okay. It's like, is there anything holding you back? And at first, he's like, I don't know. He doesn't know why he feels like, he can't really follow through on this thing. It's an environmental job. It sounds really great. California is number one in the country for environmental issues. So that sounds like an amazing job. He goes back to work as a teacher, and he's living the life that he had before. You switch back to Chow Yun. He is having an interview with a potential person for the next election, and he's explaining to him, you would need to have, and he's giving some background and stuff, and he kind of cuts him off. He says, why would anybody vote for you if you've never sacrificed anything? Everything's been handed to you, so why would anybody feel like you're gonna put your life on the line for anybody? I need somebody who can do everything and who has empathy for the common man. You don't have that. Not in what you're telling me. And he basically says, well, I'm the best candidate coming out, so who do you think would actually... And he kind of gets up and he's like, And obviously he's thinking about President Park. So it goes through different things with all the characters, the main secretaries. The big four of them, Kim Nam, Miss Jung. Miss Jung has a interesting thing where one of the candidates puts her down because she corrects him because he's talking like a dumbass. And basically says, didn't President Park teach you anything? Did you know your place? And I'm like, sexist much? And she basically, he sees, because this is at this point, after he sees Chow Yun, you find out once they're all together, because he goes through all the secretaries, that Chow Yun and her are started dating. Kim Nam finds out, and he's okay with it. And they're all like, okay, we need to get our candidate, because basically Chow Yun comes around and says, the election year cycle's coming. We know we hate our jobs. We know we're not fulfilled. We know who will fulfill the void. And so they finally come back to and meet up with President Park. Well, not President Park, Mr. Park now. And basically tells him, cat. They talk to him while he's in class, and basically all do a little huddle, and he decides to run for presidency, and it ends like that. And that is the end of the story. All right, bye.